What's up, you sweaty nerds and greasy degenerates? So Honkai Star Rail recently showed us some footage that might paint a picture of what might be to come for the recently revealed character Firefly. So let's go ahead and take a look at this to see if any of this holds any weight. So I think this should go without saying, but I'm going to have to say this anyway. If anything that I say in this video ends up turning out to be true, that may not be very fun for you, so please consider this to be a warning. I mean that genuinely, respectfully, I have no idea what's going to actually happen with the characters of this game. However, this channel has accurately predicted a lot of stuff in this game. So again, you have been warned. If you want to experience the story organically, do not continue watching this video. Now let's move on. So Honkai Star Rail recently dropped a massive banger of a music video trailer that can pretty much act as the Season 2 anime intro for this game. And we all know by seeing different anime intros that in those anime intros we end up getting a lot of subliminal messaging and foreshadowing of what's to come in the coming future of that particular source of media. And in our case, it gives us hints and foreshadowings of what's to come in Penacony. Now, we could sit here all day analyzing this video and all the different things that we see, but today I want to focus in on Firefly and what might be to come in Firefly's story based on the hints and foreshadowings that we got from this trailer. So let's dive in. So we're mainly going to focus in on the clues and foreshadowing given to us in the White Knight music video. But I need to point out something that I have not heard a single other person mention yet, and that is something from the Patch 2.0 special programming. I don't know if you guys noticed this or not, but Sparkle has an ability that is literally called Red Herring. Now, some of you might be younger viewers, you might not necessarily know what Red Herring means. A red herring means a clue or piece of information that is or is intended to be misleading or distracting. Storytellers use red herrings in order to throw off the viewer or the reader. And in our case, Hoyoverse use red herrings all the time to throw off players to think something, but what will end up happening in the game is actually something completely different. So keep that in mind. Things might not always be as they appear. So if you're worried about something bad happening to Firefly, just keep in mind, it might seem like that might happen, but we don't actually know, and it might just be a red herring. We'll explore the concept of red herrings again later on in the video, but for now, let's take a look at the clues that were given to us in the White Knight music video. As you can see on screen, Firefly is first shown to us holding two sparklers, one in each hand, and then in the next scene, the Trailblazer is seen holding the exact same sparkler in their hand. And then the Trailblazer looks up into the sky, and high above, falling from a very, very high height, is Firefly. No real person could actually survive a fall from this height. It's just too high up. And this ended up scaring a lot of players because they thought surely Firefly would die as a result of this fall. But then players looked further into it out of concern and realized something very interesting. Some similarities between Firefly and another character from this same music video. There are some pretty obvious similarities between Firefly and the character known as Sam the Stellaron Hunter, who was first introduced to us in one of Kafka's story trailers. Interestingly, Firefly and Sam's color schemes are quite literally identical, and Sam is the only character so far in the game that we know of who can quite literally fly. They're flying around all over the place in the music video, and Firefly, interestingly, has literally the word fly in their name. This is a pretty obvious clue. So it starts to make you wonder when you see the character Sam flying around in the music video and Firefly falling from such a high up distance, if Firefly and Sam might literally be the same person. I mean, just take a look at Firefly when she's falling from such a high up distance. Does she look worried at all to you that she's in any harm whatsoever? No, she doesn't. It's almost as if she knows that she's going to be perfectly fine, as if some high-powered battlesuit is going to wrap around her at some point and save her from her fall. Almost like Iron Man uses in the Marvel comics and movies, because Sam clearly is wearing some form of a battlesuit. So I guess we're getting a little bit of a 2-for-1 special, because not only are we theorizing whether something bad might happen to Firefly, but we're also theorizing whether Sam and Firefly are literally the same person. All of a sudden, players weren't so worried about Firefly falling to her untimely demise splat on the floor of Penacony. But then players noticed that there's another problem now, because if Firefly and Sam are the same person, later on in the same music video, Sam is going toe-to-toe with Acheron, and Acheron does not seem fazed whatsoever by Sam's presence. In fact, it appears that Acheron ends up having the upper hand in this duel, and for the end of the video, she even sheds a tear. Now, she could be crying because of some other reason, but she may have realized what raising her sword to this enemy may have meant, and if there was a big reveal of Sam and Firefly being the same person, then this may have ended up hurting Acheron in the end. It was shown to us in the White Knight music video, as well as the Sweet Dreams preview, The Great Tatalov, where we go up against the trash enemies in the game, that Firefly and the Trailblazer end up spending a significant amount of time together. And in the Sweet Dreams preview, we see that Acheron ends up spending time with the Trailblazer as well. It is likely that Firefly and Acheron, as well as Black Swan and the Trailblazer, all spent a significant amount of time together, and they all seem to be having a great time. However, if Sam and Firefly are in fact the same person, and Acheron ended up fighting against Firefly eventually later on in the story, and ended up even defeating Sam, it might have meant that Firefly perished at Acheron's hand, and that very well may be why Acheron is crying at the end of the music video. But she could just be crying for something else, of course, we don't really know. But don't get your panties in a bundle just yet, because although there was a large explosion between Acheron and Sam, it does show after this explosion, Sam seemingly is not completely destroyed or anything like that after Acheron's attack. And this clearly showed Sam's battlesuit being electrified, probably by Acheron's abilities. She is an electric-type damage dealer, so Acheron may have not, killed Sam, so don't get too worried about this just yet. We don't actually know the outcome of this battle, and I highly doubt they would have literally shown the character being killed in this exact moment, in this exact way. So we know the severity of what this all might mean, and it's possible that Firefly might end up dying in some way in Penacony. But let's be honest, we don't actually know the full extent of what might happen. At the end of this music video, we see Firefly seemingly dissipates into some sort of a sparkling glow, and a lot of players interpreted this as Firefly dying because she sort of just disappears into nothing. But have you considered the idea that she just sort of jumps off of the building and transforms into Sam, if she really is potentially Sam? I mean, we don't know how the transformation takes place when Firefly turns into Sam, and this very well may be what they were showing, but they didn't want to literally show us on screen, so that to some degree, we always kept our imaginations running, and it ends up being a little bit of a surprise for people that didn't see what was going on. It's at this time that I want to point out something very, very important about the world of Penacony. Penacony is the land of dreams, and it was literally told to us in the patch 2.0 special programming that there is a dream realm on top of the normal world that we normally live in. So literally, all of the events, including Firefly falling from the sky, Sam transforming and having this battle with Acheron, all of this crazy stuff that ended up occurring. Any of these moments, literally anything that we see from the special music video that we got, any of that could have simply been a dream and not actually something that really took place in the real world. So keep that in mind. And I want to remind y'all that a lot of this could just be red herrings, because Hoyoverse can now hide behind the fact that there is a dream realm. Anytime they give us promotional footage for Penacony, we genuinely, respectfully, have no idea whether those events will actually take place or not, because it could just be something that happened in the dream realm. Now, we don't know if something happens to a character in the dream realm, whether it happens to them in real life, but we just simply don't know at this time. So for players that are worried about what might happen to Firefly or Sam, please keep your reservations about this, because we don't actually know what might happen, and these players might be, these characters might be totally fine. Now, if you ask me what I think is going on in this situation, I think this whole Firefly stuff is just a red herring, a distraction to keep us preoccupied and blindside us with the death of some other character, because I do think that we're going to probably see the death of maybe one or even multiple characters in the Penacony arc. I don't know who those could be. Obviously, we have our suspicions about a certain red-haired character we've all been worried about since day one, but I don't know who right now. We don't have enough clues to know for certain, but I don't think that Firefly will probably meet her demise in this way. I could be wrong, but that's just what I think might happen with this whole situation. It would be a fun little twist, right? Instead of the obvious thing that they've already clearly shown us. But that's just my idea. Anyways, that ends this discussion for today. If you have anything that you might want to add to this, any theories that you might want to convey, go ahead and put those down in the comments and let me know what you think is going to end up happening to Firefly. But please be warned, I don't want to see any goddamn spoilers, because if I see spoilers, I'm not going to be happy about it in this particular video, and I'm going to try to be adamant about deleting the spoilers that any of you might put in the comments. Anyways, I'll see you in the next video. Peace out.